The college football season goes by in the blink of an eye, but the real story is in the minutes, hours, and days that make up a football season. 4 months on the grind and thousands of hours preparing. All of that starts right here for the Memphis Tigers.
The game is on.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. When you've got car trouble, you want help from number one. So if you've got a battery problem, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent chicken, just the chicken sandwich. RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Ryan Silverfield Show. I'm Cassie Carlson. 1 week out until the start of football season, and today we are talking Tigers. Silverfield is entering his second full season as head coach at Memphis. He's coming off an 8-3 year that was capped off with a win at the Montgomery Bowl, becoming the first head coach to win a bowl game in his first season. Now the focus is shifting to 2021. There's going to be a new face leading the offense and a defense with more depth than it's had in years. Here's head coach Ryan Silverfield previewing what's to come. Ryan, your second full season as head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Do you feel a weight lifted off that you just got through 2020, or do you feel more pressure now that you're through it and what's ahead?
Yeah, I think there's going to be challenges every single year, right? It's unprecedented times for every head coach in college football, and last year was no different, and this year moving forward is certainly different. I think the things that have changed. I always say this, I never would have thought my first 3 months on the job would have been my easiest, right? Preparing for the Cotton Bowl versus Penn State, putting together a staff. Then the pandemic hits, and then there's changes in our sport, from NIL to the transfer portal. There's things that occur. Roster management's a word that wasn't thrown around college football, 3 years ago, much less when I took this job, but that's the direction we're heading in. So there's challenges every year. I know that however long I'm the head football coach at the University of Memphis, there'll be ups and downs, but I like the direction this program's heading. I'm very excited about this season.
What did you learn about yourself as a head coach after 1 year?
There's things that occur every single day, right? And you got to be able to control what you can control. I'm responsible really for, 117 18 to 22-year-olds, and so their day-to-day, their success on and off the field is as important to me as everything, and all I can do is handle what I can. I pour into them every day. We have a wonderful staff. I got great coaches. We've got great support staff here, and with their help, we've been able to continue to pour into these young men to make sure that they're doing right all the time. And for me, it was about, hey, there's going to be ups and downs, but continue to believe in these young men, do it right by them, and lead them in the right direction. And our program will have success. And these young men not only will have success and win games on the field, but 20 years from now, hopefully they'll look back at the life lessons that they learned, and we can be proud of that.
You talk about, Memphis versus everybody. I don't think that's ever going to change, right?
Sure.
But that's why people love Memphis. And I know you said in the AAC Media Day about the preseason poll, hey, talk to me in January.
Yeah.
And that's pretty blunt, but that's kind of like the Memphis way.
No question. And I think that's been the way since I took the job, right? From my interim head coaching press conference to the one, that's how I've always felt. And I think our guys feel the exact same way. It does us no good to worry about a preseason poll, even conference alignment, all that stuff right now. All we can go out is do work. And I think the reflection will show on the field week in and week out, right? Whether it's a Saturday game, a Thursday game, or a Friday night game. But I'm pleased with the way these guys are working, and none of that matters until it's all said and done. And we got a lot of football left to be played, a lot of practices before the first game, and I'm pleased. But yeah, let them think what they want, and hopefully we'll have the final results will be a little bit better than what people think they're expecting.
On your offense, you come into a new season and you're missing the biggest cornerstone that this program has had for a handful of years. Do you get excited about a quarterback competition? Do you kind of fear what the offense might look like, the fear of the unknown? What's it like?
Sure. Look, losing Brady White, the all-time winningest quarterback in program history, it was never going to be easy. I don't care where you're at, anywhere that happens. In college football or the NFL, it's hard to replace, and we won't replace him. We're just going to continue to try to find our next good quarterback. And we've had a lot of great quarterbacks in this program. The good news is I get sleep at night because we have 4 capable bodies. But it also keeps me up at night, let's just be honest. So, no, there is excitement. I'm glad there's a competition. I'm glad that they're competing at the highest level. I feel very comfortable with all 4 options. And, you know, we'll see what happens on September 4th when we roll out the blue carpet and the ball gets up and the coin gets tossed and let the best man win. But I'm very pleased, and I'm excited to watch them continue to battle.
The run game was the thing that we asked you after every game.
Sure.
What's going on with it? I know you said it kept you up at night. So as you looked back on last year, did you find a root of the problem?
Yeah, and I'll always say it starts with me. And you know, I think that's my job as a coach, is to sit back and say, okay, what can we do to improve upon this? And the run game did give me troubles last year. And was it our job as coaches not coming up with the right schemes? Did we not put the guys in the right places? I think it was a combination of things, right? Like we said, we started 6 different running backs last year, and then obviously it all starts up front with the offensive line. So I don't put it just strictly on the offensive line or the running backs. I think it's everybody involved, and like I said, it starts with the play calling. The root of it was we can get better. It's not like the end of the world. We don't have any running backs. We got a lot of capable running backs.
Part of it, too, is just that you were spoiled previously. I mean, the standard was set very, very high, and then obviously not dealt the best hand right before the season started last year. But do you think with time, you know, these guys feel more comfortable in it? And I know Kylan Watkins has been mentioned several times now as someone who's really emerged at that position.
Look, we were spoiled, right? 5 NFL running backs right now currently on rosters. I mean, that's fantastic. And those are special type players. Do I think we have them in our program? I do, but you're right. The reality, besides the service academies, we had the best rushing attack for 3 straight years in college football. And that'll be near hard to ever duplicate. We certainly would like to. I love running the football. But I do think all those backs also have a chip on their shoulder, and they know, hey, we got to make a name for ourselves as well.
Yeah, they said, I think it was Marquavius Weaver who said, we heard all that noise.
Yeah, well,
they're well aware.
They heard it from me just as much as anybody. So yeah, look, whatever the public says and all that stuff, I keep my blinders on, especially for 6 months out of the year. But if they hear it, great, and they're also hearing it from me barking as well.
On the defensive side of the ball, you said the most depth on this team is on defense.
Yeah.
For the first time, we're talking about that in a long time.
Sure.
In a conference like the American, that could be the game changer right there.
No question. Look, I look at what Cincinnati has done the last 4 years, and they've done a fantastic job of recruiting, kind of building their program with consistency, right? They've had the same coaching staff, they've had the same thoughts in recruiting, and they've done a fantastic job. If you look at their defense side of the ball, I mean, they've got playmaker after playmaker after playmaker. And I know that, look, we've won a lot of games here with a lot of offensive firepower. We will still continue to have that, fans, don't worry. But I also feel like finally, in my 6 years here, we've got defensive depth, and really excited about it, you know, from the secondary to linebackers to the defensive line, from top to bottom. I'm really pleased with it, and I think it will help us in this conference.
What's it going to be like this year when you run out at the Liberty Bowl?
Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it. It's because our fans will be back. We've got some of the best fans. I love the Liberty Bowl, the history of it. It's such a unique place, and I've run at it in all different types of occasions. But to be able to have our fans in those stands, the ones that bleed blue, and there for that home opener, this is for them. And that's going to be so exciting. I'm going to look up and just have a big smile. And like I said before, I never will, forget, just not be able to have our own bodies in this facility. And so to be able to see our fans in the stands is going to be wonderful.
Well, all of the focus has been on the quarterback competition following last season. Grant Gunnell is the Arizona transfer. We're going to hear from the QB along with the coordinators and leaders on defense coming up next on the Ryan Silverfield Show.
You're watching the Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Welcome back to the Ryan Silverfield Show. Memphis has had a top 25 offense in 4 out of the last 5 seasons. Last year, averaging more than 450 yards per game. Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator, enters his 3rd year at Memphis, and he says he has an evolving offensive system with a new quarterback under center. You get another season with the Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, I'm excited. Year 3.
Yeah,
looking
year
forward
3.
to great things.
How has the offense evolved over those 2 years and leading into your 3rd year?
I think that every year it's different because you just don't know from a personnel standpoint what you have. And we enter every season really with the same bank of plays and the same installation schedule. But as you go out throughout these 2 to 3 weeks of preseason practices, you really try to figure out who we're going to be and who we can count on. Maybe some guys that we weren't necessarily expecting to help us are going to be impact players. And then we just evolve things from there, but hoping to do great things this year.
A lot of the players have talked about how the continuity between the coordinators, having more than just 1 year of a coordinator, has helped them so much. Do you notice them buying into your system more and them gelling more because you've been here for 3 years now?
No, I really do, and these kids have been great. And again, it helps that it's the same installation, the same language every year. I think that helps because once you get it your first, maybe your second year, then you kind of got it throughout your whole career. Which is a huge plus for us.
Do you like having a quarterback competition ahead of a season?
I think it's great. You know, for me to have a first-year starter here at Memphis, it's exciting. Brady White was awesome, but Brady White knew everything. Now with these guys, they're so bright-eyed and so into it that it's been a lot of fun for me. A lot of good questions, a lot of obviously first times with the plays and with practices and with situations. But man, these guys have been great.
One of the quarterbacks in the competition is Grant Gunnell. Here's the Arizona transfer and his best offensive weapon, wide receiver Calvin Austin III. You decide to transfer from a Power 5 to a Power 6 school. Why Memphis?
For the first thing for me was I was looking for a school that had a winning tradition and they won a lot of games. They win all the time, so that was a big thing for me. And then talking with the coaches, and I had already knew about the offense and Brady White and the numbers he had put up, so it kind of all fell into place. Memphis felt like the perfect spot for me.
At Memphis, it's like a different level of work.
Yeah.
What has been your experience?
Just through the workouts and the meetings and everything, it's a different kind of grind here in Memphis. And everyone, if you're not bought in, you can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it. You have to be 100% bought in. When
you came here, did you know there was going to be a quarterback competition?
I mean, I believe in myself 100%, and I thought I'm just going to do everything I can to end up being the Memphis Tiger quarterback.
Honestly, I came back really just to be with my brothers for another year. I feel like last season I accomplished a lot, but I still feel like there was a lot more that I left out there. And especially as a team, I don't think we achieved as much as we could. Being able to come back another year and have the opportunity to play in front of all the fans, that was something I just couldn't pass up.
How do you approach going into a season where now you're the guy and all eyes are on you?
I really just know that if I just, trust God, trust my teammates, that what's supposed to be will be. And I really just, like, at the end of the day, I just check it to, it's football. I've been doing this since I was younger, so, I love this game. So just being able to just come out there and play football, at the end of the day, like, no one gets anything out of a preseason award. You don't get anything at the end for just being a preseason this or a watch list for this. So I'm really just trying to, take it and just even surpass it even more.
The goal on the other side of the ball is to finish as a top 25 defense. That has never been done here at Memphis. But with defensive coordinator Mike McIntyre having a full and normal offseason to implement his scheme and the defense returning 8 starters, they think they have the tools to get it done.
Well, it is exciting, and the young men have done a really good job so far in fall camp and how they've worked. And we don't take for granted that they're coming back, but we always go back right to square one. The good thing about it is they have a lot of knowledge retained. They understand what we're doing the second year, but we still got to cover every single base to make sure we're going to be successful.
What were you most impressed by last year as you went through the season and you saw the guys start developing everything?
Yeah, what I was most impressed with last year was how they kept fighting, how they kept believing, how they kept working. And we steadily improved in the last half of the year. And a lot of that credit goes to them and the assistant coaches that we just kept doing the same thing over and over and over, and they started understanding it. And I'm seeing we're playing faster right now than we did at the end of last year already in practice.
You're a coach's son, correct?
Yes.
So has it always been in your DNA, or have you always wanted to coach?
Definitely in my DNA. My dad was a coach, myself, and now my son's coaching. He's the wide receivers coach at UT Martin, so it's all in the family.
Anything specifically you took from your dad?
Yes, there are a lot of things I took from my dad, but I think one thing is how much he cared for his players and how much he loved and worked with them off the field, on the field, and every aspect of that.
Quindell Johnson led the team in interceptions and tackles last year, and head coach Ryan Silverfield has made it clear he thinks Morris Joseph can be the best D lineman in the AAC. Here's the two defensive leaders. You led the team in tackles and tied for the most interceptions. What was clicking for you last year on a personal level?
I just felt like I was being consistent. You know, I always tell myself, just be me, just being a ball hog, just being around the ball a lot. You know, that works for me, and the ball will find you eventually when you're on the field. So that's just my mentality. You know, just being me.
What's the excitement level of having an experienced secondary and just the offensive powerhouses in this conference?
I have a lot of confidence in our back end and what we can do, and the pieces that we have. We have a lot of guys that can play a lot of different positions in the back end, so that's what makes us very special. And I feel like, you know, the guys that we have in the back end is very special.
I still feel like there's a lot more out there, you know, to accomplish individually and, you know, with my team. So looking forward to trying to get another championship this year. That was really fun. 2019 was a fun year. Last year was fun too, winning the bowl game, but obviously after winning the championship, nothing else really gonna like equal to that unless you go do it again. So
what goals do you set for yourself as you enter your senior year?
Honestly, this year my only goal is really just to try my best every play, and really just to try to help my team as much as possible. I feel like if you do that, everything else will fall in place. So
take me into the mindset of a D lineman.
Me personally, I feel like you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's something I like to live by. Whenever things go wrong during the game, it's important to stay calm and relaxed and don't get rattled. You know, so if we throw an interception or something, my mentality is just, hey, everybody calm down. We gotta go get the ball back. I'm gonna get a sack.
In a conference like the American, there are no easy games. We break down the schedule coming up next.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
The American is referred to as a Power 6 conference because there's no easy games in AAC play. Here's some thoughts on the first few weeks of the season.
Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
You know, you look at our first 4 games, right? Obviously, nothing as important as the first game with Nichols. You're talking about a FCS program that's won a lot of football games, right? That's been in the playoffs year in and year out. They've got some experience. They got a great quarterback. We got to prepare for them. Then we traveled to Arkansas State, which I'm excited about, right? You know, this is our region. We recruit that area in Arkansas. Hopefully, we showcase a bunch of blue in their stadium and go out and show out. They have a new head coach, Butch Jones, who's familiar to a lot of people in the state of Tennessee, and come back home, Mississippi State, a program SEC caliber. I mean, I go back and I watch the game versus Georgia where they held in the negative rushing yards, and that keeps me up at night. And we'll get to that when that game shows up. And then you look at UTSA, I mean, a program that, watch out, they won a lot of games last year. They've got a head coach going into his 3rd year, I believe, Coach Traylor, that's done a fantastic job.
That was tonight's AutoZone Road Ahead. AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination and official sponsor of Tiger Athletics. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
September 4th is almost here. When we come back, we'll wrap things up and let you know what you can expect this season on The Ryan Silverfield Show. That wraps up week 1 of The Ryan Silverfield Show. Every week, we're going to take you inside the Memphis Tigers football program. It'll be hosted by Jarvis Greer and Dave Woloshin, and you can catch it every Sunday night on Action News 5.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. Next time you need a car battery, just pick it up. Visit AutoZone.com and select same-day store pickup. Just one reason why AutoZone is America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. R.J. Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the University of Memphis Sports Network. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.